The sky above Earth suddenly flickers with strange lights, signaling the arrival of something beyond human understanding. Across the globe, cities darken as a shadow appears in the sky, an alien ship, unlike anything seen before. Its sleek design gleams as it hovers over Earth's atmosphere, sending waves of confusion and awe throughout the world. Humanity, though not unfamiliar with the idea of extraterrestrial life, has never faced something quite like this. The ship is a symbol of high-tech advancements and vast power, belonging to a race of aliens who have explored countless galaxies. Yet, as the ship slowly descends toward Earth, they know nothing about humanity's true strength, nothing about the secret power hidden deep within the human race. Setting: the peaceful first contact. The aliens land in a remote desert, far from bustling cities. This choice is strategic. The military and top government officials are on high alert, ready to engage or defend, but the aliens have made it clear that they seek peaceful interaction. The world watches in stunned silence as representatives from Earth's military and government approach the site of the alien ship. Out from the shadows steps Zorina, a young, intelligent alien from the highly advanced species known as the Zalithians. She is chosen for this mission not only because of her curiosity but also because of her unique ability to adapt quickly to new environments. As the delegation approaches the human representatives, there is an air of uneasy tension. The aliens are far superior in technology and physical strength, but they've come in peace. Zorina is fascinated by humans. Unlike her species, who possess extraordinary physical prowess and mental capabilities, humans are frail and primitive. Yet, there's something compelling about them that she can't quite explain. The human body, its anatomy, its imperfections, and its vulnerabilities, catches her attention the most. Despite her species' long history of exploring different worlds, the simplicity of human biology is like nothing she's ever encountered. Suspense: Zorina's growing curiosity. As Zorina interacts with the humans, she's struck by their strange behavior. Some humans are visibly uncomfortable, instinctively stepping away from her probing gaze. They can feel her intense scrutiny, but they don't understand it. The way she watches them, examining every subtle movement, every heartbeat, every breath, stirs an unsettling sense of unease. Zorina doesn't mean to make them uncomfortable, but she can't help herself. The more she observes, the more fascinated she becomes. Human skin, fragile and delicate, yet strong enough to withstand the harshest environments. The eyes, so expressive and filled with emotion, something that Zorina's people have long forgotten to express. And the most puzzling of all, the heart, beating with such unpredictability. There is no logical reason why it beats in such a manner, yet it drives every human to act, to live, to fight. Zorina finds herself unable to look away from one soldier in particular. Private Jake, a young man in his early 20s, is assigned to the delegation as a translator. His body is far from the sleek, powerful forms of the Zalithians, but his human spirit is undeniably strong. Zorina observes him closely, noting the way his muscles tense in response to stress, the way his hands tremble when he thinks no one is watching, and the intense emotion in his eyes when he speaks of his home and his family. She is puzzled by his vulnerability, yet it stirs something deep within her. To her, a creature of advanced biological systems, this fragility is both beautiful and perplexing. She can't comprehend how such weak beings could survive, let alone thrive, in a universe filled with far stronger species. This confusion only deepens her fascination with the human body and its underlying resilience. Meanwhile, Jake, unaware of Zorina's deepening curiosity, remains focused on his duties. At times, he feels her eyes on him, but he assumes it's just the natural attention that comes with being part of such an important meeting. Little does he know, Zorina is studying him as if he were the most fascinating creature she's ever encountered. Building suspense, the unspoken tension. As days pass, Zorina's fascination grows into something more. She begins to secretly study human culture, sneaking peeks at old books, historical documents, and even the way humans interact with one another. She's intrigued by their social structures, how they form bonds, fight wars, and most of all, their capacity for both love and hatred. Zorina becomes especially captivated by the idea of human emotion. In her world, emotions are viewed as weaknesses. The Zalithians are taught from birth to suppress all forms of vulnerability, to focus only on logic, efficiency, and power. Yet, in observing humans, she sees the way they are driven by feelings, how they laugh, cry, fight, and sacrifice for those they care about. One evening, while the rest of the delegation is preparing for another diplomatic meeting, Zorina sneaks away from the camp and watches a group of soldiers share stories around a fire. They laugh, drink, and bond. She doesn't understand the humor, but the warmth of their connection pulls her in. She watches how they look out for each other, how even in the face of danger, they remain united. Zorina's heart races as she begins to understand that there's something far deeper than physical strength that makes humans dangerous. But even as Zorina's interest in humans grows, there's a growing tension between the two species. The military leaders, cautious of the aliens' superior technology, begin to question their true intentions. Some fear that the aliens may not be as peaceful as they appear. As the tension escalates, the first signs of conflict begin to emerge. Cliffhanger ending, the unexpected move. Just as Zorina's fascination with humans reaches its peak, something unexpected happens. Zorina receives a message from her superiors back home, a command to take more direct action, a decision that could shift the balance of power between the humans and aliens. Zorina faces a difficult choice: should she follow her orders and risk destroying the fragile peace between their species, or should she listen to her growing feelings toward the humans, and the one in particular, Private Jake? As she wrestles with this decision, the stakes rise, and the future of both worlds hangs in the balance. As days pass, Zorina finds herself increasingly drawn to the complexities of human life. What started as a simple fascination has now turned into a powerful obsession. The more she learns about humanity, the more confused and fascinated she becomes. She watches humans closely, studying their behaviors and emotions, attempting to unravel the mysteries of their biology and psyche. At night, when the rest of the alien delegation is resting, Zorina sneaks away from the camp. She visits the human soldiers' quarters, carefully watching their interactions and learning about their routines. Her fascination with their vulnerability, their emotional expressions, and the way their bodies react to different stimuli consumes her. She's seen her own kind perform complex physical feats with ease, but the human body, so fragile yet so resilient, continues to perplex her. Zorina's curiosity leads her to observe how humans cope with fear and pain, how they heal after injuries, and how their emotions drive them to take action. She watches a young soldier, Private Jake, who is recovering from a minor injury. His body, though injured, heals at a pace that seems slow to her, but his spirit remains unbroken. Zorina cannot comprehend why such a fragile form endures so much and yet still fights. One night, she quietly follows Jake to the training field, where soldiers practice combat drills. From her hidden vantage point, Zorina watches as Jake and his comrades engage in close-quarters combat. She is amazed at the humans' endurance, their ability to push through pain, and their determination. This experience deepens her obsession. She's no longer just observing from a distance, she yearns to understand, to experience firsthand what it means to be human. Character development: Zorina becomes a rebel. As Zorina continues her secret observations, she begins to question everything she's been taught. In her society, the Zalithians are taught to view emotions as weaknesses. They believe that logic, strength, and efficiency are the only things that matter. The concept of being vulnerable, of feeling fear or love, is considered illogical. But the more Zorina observes, the more she begins to wonder if these emotions are actually a form of strength. Zorina's curiosity leads her to challenge the norms of her own culture. She starts to question the belief that Zalithians are superior to humans. The way her people view the world, through a lens of cold efficiency, feels increasingly inadequate in the face of human complexity. She begins to see the value in human emotional connections, the bonds they form, and their ability to fight not just for survival but for each other. This internal struggle begins to affect her actions. Zorina starts to isolate herself from her own people, questioning the way they treat humans. She's viewed as a rebel in her community, an alien who dares to entertain ideas that go against the foundation of her culture. Her actions, though small at first, begin to create ripples in the Zalithian society. She is seen as a threat to the status quo, someone who could undermine the societal order that has existed for centuries. Despite the mounting pressure from her superiors, Zorina becomes even more determined to understand the human spirit. She feels an almost magnetic pull toward Jake, not just because of his physical strength but because of the raw emotions he embodies. His vulnerability, his fear, his love for his comrades, these are things Zorina can barely comprehend, but they stir something deep inside her. Emotional tension, Dr. Ethan Carter's suspicion. While Zorina's curiosity continues to grow, a human scientist named Dr. Ethan Carter begins to notice her increasingly suspicious behavior. Dr. Carter is part of the team that is studying the aliens, and he's known for his sharp mind and keen instincts. He has observed the interactions between Zorina and the human soldiers, and something doesn't sit right with him. Dr. Carter is a man of logic, much like the Zalithians, but he values transparency and truth. He begins to wonder why Zorina seems so intensely focused on studying human emotions and physiology. At first, he thought it was just a natural curiosity from an alien race exploring a new species, but over time, he begins to notice patterns in her actions, patterns that suggest she's hiding something. One evening, while Zorina is quietly observing the soldiers in their training session, Dr. Carter confronts her. He knows she has been spending far too much time with the humans, far too much time studying them in secret. He asks her, "What are you really looking for, Zorina? Why are you so obsessed with us?" Zorina, caught off guard by his sudden confrontation, tries to hide the growing conflict inside her. She feigns indifference and says, "I am simply observing. It is not for you to question." But Dr. Carter is not so easily fooled. His eyes narrow with suspicion as he watches her closely. "You're not just observing, Zorina," Dr. Carter presses. "You're studying us. You're trying to understand something, something beyond biology. What is it that you need to know?" Zorina feels a mix of fear and frustration. She cannot afford to reveal the truth to him, not yet. She knows that Dr. Carter's suspicions could unravel everything she has worked toward. If he discovers her feelings, the delicate balance between humans and aliens could shatter. She must tread carefully, pretending to be indifferent while struggling to hide her true motives. But Dr. Carter's suspicions only grow stronger. He begins to question the other humans who have interacted with Zorina, asking about her behavior and whether she's asked any personal questions. Some soldiers admit that Zorina has shown a strange interest in their health and emotions, but none seem to understand the depth of her obsession. As Zorina tries to cover her tracks, she feels herself caught between two worlds, the cold, logical world of the Zalithians, and the complex, emotionally driven world of the humans. The tension grows inside her, making it harder to focus on her mission. Each interaction with the humans, each moment spent with Jake, only deepens her internal conflict. Building suspense, the stakes rise. As the days pass, Zorina's behavior grows more erratic. She begins to take risks, visiting the human medical labs to examine their healing processes up close, trying to understand the limits of human endurance. She begins to take on tasks that her superiors would never approve of. She becomes more defiant, more unwilling to let go of the human mystery she's unraveling. Dr. Carter, on the other hand, continues to dig deeper, determined to uncover Zorina's true intentions. His suspicion is growing, and the risk of discovery looms ever larger. As the chapter closes, both Zorina and Dr. Carter are on a collision course. The secrets they are hiding are on the verge of being exposed, and the consequences for both human and alien societies could be catastrophic. The suspense is building, and no one is prepared for what's coming next. The tension between Dr. Ethan Carter and Zorina reaches its peak when Dr. Carter finally uncovers the truth. His suspicion about Zorina's increasingly strange behavior and intense focus on human biology had been growing for weeks. After carefully observing her actions and connecting the dots, he finally pieces everything together. Zorina's fascination with humans is not just academic, it's something much deeper. He knows he has to confront her about it. One evening, as Zorina stands alone in a secluded area, quietly observing a group of soldiers, Dr. Carter approaches her. He isn't surprised to find her in the usual spot, but this time, there is a sense of finality in his steps. Zorina looks up from her observations, sensing his presence before he speaks. "Zorina," he begins, his voice calm but filled with intent, "I know what you've been doing. What you're really doing." Zorina stiffens, her heart racing as she realizes that the truth is no longer something she can keep hidden. She tries to maintain her composure, but Dr. Carter's sharp eyes pierce through her carefully constructed facade. "You've been studying humans more than just for scientific purposes," he continues. "You're fascinated by something deeper, something more emotional." At this, Zorina's eyes flicker with vulnerability. For the first time, she realizes that there is no way to deny her growing obsession with humanity. She lowers her gaze, her voice barely above a whisper. "You're right. It's more than just biology. It's everything about them. Their emotions, their fragility, their resilience. I can't explain it. My people don't understand it." Emotional connection, the truth behind Zorina's fascination. Zorina takes a deep breath, as if summoning the courage to speak her truth. "Humans, they live in a way that's completely different from us. They feel pain, fear, love, but they keep going. Despite everything they go through, they keep fighting. It's like they have this strength that we can't understand, this power that comes from being so vulnerable." Her words are raw, filled with an emotion that Zorina has long struggled to comprehend. She continues, her voice trembling slightly, "Where I come from, we are taught to suppress emotions. Strength is measured by how logical we are, by how we can detach ourselves from anything that weakens us. But humans have something that makes them alive in a way we can never be. I don't know how to explain it. It's like they are stronger because of their weakness." Dr. Carter listens intently, his expression softening as he realizes the depth of Zorina's internal conflict. There's no denying it now, Zorina isn't just observing humans for scientific purposes. She's emotionally drawn to their very existence. The human scientist, usually calm and analytical, now finds himself empathizing with her. "I understand," he says quietly. "I've always believed that emotions are what make us human. What makes us strong, even when we're weak. You're not the only one who has struggled with this. But you're asking yourself a question no one here has ever asked before. Can our weakness be our strength?" For a moment, Zorina looks at him in silence. Then, she says something that surprises both of them, "I wish I could feel like you do. I wish I could understand what it's like to truly care, to love, to fear. I've seen it in you humans, and I've never been able to feel it myself. It's as if I'm trapped in my own skin, unable to experience what makes you so real." Conflict, Zorina's violation is exposed. Zorina's confession changes everything. But it doesn't take long for her secret to reach the ears of the Zalithian authorities. Her behavior, which has been increasingly erratic and defiant, has not gone unnoticed. The alien race values efficiency, logic, and control above all else. Zorina's growing obsession with human emotions and biology violates everything her people stand for. Soon after her conversation with Dr. Carter, Zorina is summoned by the Zalithian Council. She is brought to a cold, sterile room where her superiors are waiting. The atmosphere is tense, the air thick with disapproval. The council members are known for their unwavering stance on maintaining order and discipline. Zorina knows what's coming, an interrogation. You have violated the sacred laws of Zalithian society, the lead officer states, his voice stern and unforgiving. You have allowed yourself to become emotionally entangled with the humans. Your actions have compromised the very foundation of our mission. Zorina's heart races, but she stands tall, trying to appear unaffected. She is no longer the curious alien who once observed with fascination. She is now a creature at war with herself, struggling to reconcile her feelings with the rigid, emotionless values of her people. I didn't choose this, she replies quietly. I didn't want this obsession. But the humans, their emotions, their fragility, it speaks to something inside me. I couldn't ignore it. The council members exchange looks of disbelief. They cannot understand what she's saying. Emotions are a weakness, not something to be cherished. To them, Zorina's actions are a betrayal of their species' most fundamental beliefs. You have endangered the mission, the officer continues. Your curiosity has put us all at risk. This human emotion you speak of, this weakness, is a threat to the success of our mission. Zorina's mind races as the interrogation continues. She knows the council won't accept her reasoning. They cannot see what she sees, the strength that lies within human vulnerability. They only see it as a flaw, something that needs to be eradicated. She realizes that she is at a crossroads. If she cannot convince them, if she cannot justify her fascination with humanity, she will be cast aside. Her future, and perhaps the future of the humans she's come to care about, hangs in the balance. Rising tension, a life-altering decision. As the interrogation goes on, the pressure mounts. Zorina is forced to defend her actions, but each argument only seems to dig her deeper into a corner. Her loyalty to her people is questioned, and she feels herself slipping further away from everything she has known. For the first time, Zorina is faced with a choice that could change everything. She must decide whether to continue down the path of human curiosity and risk her own life, or betray her newfound beliefs to save herself and her people. The stakes are higher than ever, and the tension continues to build, setting the stage for a dramatic and life-altering decision. The news of Zorina's secret obsession with human biology and emotions spreads quickly throughout Earth's leadership. High-ranking officials, military commanders, and top scientists all begin to discuss the implications of her actions. What was once seen as a minor curiosity now takes on a much more serious tone. Zorina, once a mere visitor from another world, is now viewed by many as a potential threat. Earth's United Council, composed of representatives from all over the world, is quickly summoned to deliberate. They gather in a high-security bunker, a place designed for moments of crisis. As the leaders sit around the table, the air is thick with tension. The news of Zorina's deep interest in human physiology and emotions raises several questions. Could her fascination be part of a larger, more dangerous alien strategy? Was this all a trick to study humanity's weaknesses for an eventual invasion? One council member, General Amelia Ruiz, speaks up, her voice firm and commanding. We cannot ignore what we've learned. If this alien has come here under false pretenses, we may be at the beginning of something far more dangerous than we realize. If she's been studying our bodies and emotions, it's possible that her species has more sinister motives. They could use this information to manipulate us or exploit our vulnerabilities. Another member, Professor Henry Williams, a leading expert in extraterrestrial biology, counters. We must be cautious, but we can't jump to conclusions. Zorina's behavior might not be as threatening as it seems. Perhaps her fascination with humans is purely intellectual, driven by curiosity rather than any malicious intent. We need more information before making any decisions. Despite the mixed opinions, the Council is united in one belief: Zorina's actions demand serious attention. Earth's leaders decide that they must meet with Zorina, along with the alien representatives, face to face. The meeting will be a pivotal moment in determining the future of Earth's relationship with this advanced alien race. Underdog moment, Dr. Carter defends Zorina. As tensions rise within the Council, Dr. Ethan Carter, the human scientist who had grown close to Zorina, steps into the spotlight. Dr. Carter had spent countless hours studying alien technology and culture, but his recent interactions with Zorina had opened his eyes to a side of the aliens that no one had ever considered. While many humans are eager to view Zorina as a threat, Dr. Carter sees an opportunity, a chance to bridge the gap between Earth and the alien race. Standing before the council, he passionately argues, Zorina may be different, but that doesn't make her an enemy. She is a product of her culture, just like we are. Her fascination with humans is driven by an innate curiosity. She is struggling with emotions and feelings she doesn't understand. And yes, she may have violated our trust, but that doesn't mean we should treat her as a weapon. He pauses, making eye contact with the members of the council. If we view Zorina only as a threat, we miss an opportunity. Humans are known for our ability to adapt, to change. We can teach her about compassion, about the emotions that make us who we are. She is not just an alien, she is someone who might help us understand an entirely new perspective. If we turn our backs on her, we risk losing that chance. Dr. Carter's words are met with silence. Some members of the council are visibly moved by his conviction, while others remain skeptical. But one thing is clear, Dr. Carter has become a key figure in defending Zorina, even as the danger to Earth grows. His stance as an advocate for understanding and compassion in the face of fear resonates with a few, though the majority remains wary. Suspense, preparing for the meeting. As the council debates the future of Earth's relationship with the aliens, Dr. Carter is called upon to organize a meeting between human and alien leaders. The goal is to assess Zorina's actions and intentions, as well as to understand how Earth can move forward in its relationship with this advanced species. The meeting will take place in a neutral location, a vast, high-tech conference room designed to accommodate both human and alien delegates. Zorina, along with representatives from her alien species, will be present to answer the council's questions. It's an unprecedented moment, a chance to understand each other on a deeper level, but also a potential flashpoint for conflict. As the day of the meeting approaches, Dr. Carter feels a sense of urgency. He knows that this is his chance to advocate for a peaceful solution, but the stakes are higher than ever. If Zorina's behavior is seen as a deliberate act of espionage or manipulation, Earth could go to war with the alien race. On the other hand, if the aliens are truly as peaceful as they claim, this could be the beginning of a groundbreaking alliance between two species. Zorina's role in the meeting is uncertain. She remains an enigma, with both humans and aliens unsure of how she will act. Her emotions are raw, her internal conflict undeniable. Dr. Carter wonders whether Zorina will be able to defend herself in front of her superiors, or whether she will be sacrificed to protect the larger agenda of her alien race. The night before the meeting, Dr. Carter reflects on everything that's led up to this moment. He thinks about Zorina's vulnerability, about her struggle to understand human emotions and the strength she's found in her curiosity. He knows that the meeting will be crucial, not just for Earth, but for Zorina's future as well. Zorina herself is preparing, though she's unsure of what to expect. She has witnessed the alien authorities' distrust of her actions, and she knows the humans are divided in their opinions about her. The pressure is mounting, but she feels a sense of responsibility, to her people, to Earth, and to herself. As Dr. Carter, Zorina, and the alien leaders prepare for the upcoming meeting, the tension between the two species reaches a breaking point. Will Earth accept the aliens, or will they view them as a threat? And will Zorina's actions bring peace, or will they lead to war? The next part of the story will hold the answers, as the fate of humanity and the alien race hangs in the balance. The long-anticipated joint human-alien assembly finally takes place in a vast, high-tech conference room. Both human and alien leaders are present, their eyes locked on each other, their expectations high. This meeting is not just about diplomacy. It's about survival, understanding, and the uncertain future of the two species. Zorina, now an unwelcome guest in some human circles, stands at the center, her presence radiating a mix of curiosity and defiance. Dr. Carter, as her only ally, stands beside her, ready to explain her actions to the world. As the assembly begins, Zorina is asked to present her findings on human biology. This was part of the agreed-upon discussion, but no one anticipated the direction in which Zorina would take it. With an air of both nervousness and excitement, she begins her demonstration, detailing her observations of human anatomy, emotions, and the biological responses that make humans unique. But instead of keeping her findings clinical, Zorina's fascination with the human body and its vulnerability takes over. She displays holographic projections of various human physiological processes: heartbeat, blood flow, skin response to touch, and emotions. The images are vivid and detailed, illustrating her deep study of humanity. Shocking display, Zorina goes further, revealing her own discoveries about human emotional vulnerability. She explains how she believes humans experience pain, joy, and fear on a deeper level than her alien species. The room falls silent as her presentation goes from academic to almost personal. Her intense gaze and the way she speaks about human emotions make many uncomfortable. Some of the human representatives are alarmed, unsure of how much information the aliens have gained about their bodies. Meanwhile, the alien leaders exchange uneasy glances. The demonstration feels uncomfortably intimate, as Zorina's fascination with human physiology becomes apparent to all. To the humans, her actions seem like an invasion of privacy, an unspoken breach of trust. The aliens, on the other hand, are disturbed by her human-like emotional connection to her findings. This is not the detached, clinical research they expected from their advanced species. In the midst of the shock and discomfort, Dr. Carter steps forward. He tries to calm the situation, explaining that Zorina's actions were motivated by curiosity and a genuine attempt to understand humanity. But his voice is drowned out by the rising murmurs of concern. Some human leaders begin to see Zorina not as a misunderstood explorer, but as a potential threat, someone who has delved too deeply into their biology. Action scene: Zorina's crisis within her alien hierarchy. While the public demonstration shakes the room, it's the reaction of the alien leadership that takes a darker turn. Back on their ship, Zorina is summoned by the alien elders, a group of powerful and influential leaders who oversee the actions of their species. The elders are furious, their faces cold and unforgiving as they discuss the implications of Zorina's behavior. Her actions, they argue, are a direct violation of their culture's strict ethical code. The alien hierarchy has always viewed humans as a lesser species, to be studied from a distance, not intimately engaged with. Zorina's behavior, her deep emotional connection to human beings, has crossed an unacceptable line. To the alien elders, her actions are an act of defiance, an embarrassment to their species. One elder, Urax, a cold and calculating leader, speaks with authority. Zorina's actions have compromised the integrity of our mission. She has crossed boundaries that should never have been crossed. She must be punished. Her curiosity has turned into dangerous obsession. We cannot allow such behavior to spread. Zorina, knowing the gravity of the situation, tries to defend herself. I didn't mean to harm anyone. My fascination is not with power or control, but with understanding the beauty of what makes humans so resilient. I have learned from them. They have something we don't. But her pleas fall on deaf ears. The decision is made: Zorina must be executed for violating the core values of her species. Her future seems grim, and the walls close in on her. As the alien guards move in to take her, Dr. Carter, who has been secretly communicating with Zorina, decides to act. Understanding the urgency, he gathers a small group of trusted allies, including sympathetic humans who believe in Zorina's innocence, and prepares for a risky rescue mission. Rising stakes: the standoff between humans and aliens. With Zorina's execution ordered, Dr. Carter knows that this is not just a battle for her life, but for the future of Earth's relationship with the aliens. He cannot let her die, not after everything that's happened. As Dr. Carter leads the rescue mission, tensions between humans and aliens escalate quickly. The alien authorities are aware of the human sympathizers and are prepared for an all-out confrontation. The once tense diplomatic talks have now spiraled into an imminent standoff. Earth's leaders, fearing that their attempts at diplomacy have failed, begin to prepare for military action. In a remote location, a small but heavily guarded area, the two sides face each other. Zorina, now a prisoner, stands at the center, guarded by alien soldiers. The alien elders are determined to carry out their orders, but Dr. Carter and his team are equally determined to save her. The atmosphere is charged with rising tension. Humans and aliens stand face to face, weapons at the ready. The air hums with the energy of impending conflict. The humans, though outnumbered and less technologically advanced, are armed with determination, and their trust in Dr. Carter is unwavering. The alien soldiers, superior in strength and technology, are ready to crush any opposition. The standoff grows more dangerous by the minute. The fate of Zorina, and the possibility of war, hangs in the balance. Dr. Carter knows that the next few moments will determine everything. If he fails, not only will Zorina's life be lost, but Earth may also be thrust into a war with a technologically superior alien race. The tension in the air is thick as Zorina stands in the heart of the standoff, the alien authorities surrounding her and the humans poised for a final confrontation. Her mind is racing, and the gravity of the situation weighs heavily on her. She has witnessed the resilience and vulnerability of the human race firsthand, but the deeper realization she's coming to now is far more significant. As the alien soldiers tighten their grip around her, preparing to execute the final order, something shifts inside Zorina. The fascination that once drove her curiosity about the human body takes on new meaning. It wasn't just their physical forms or emotions that captivated her, but the depth of human resilience, how humans, despite their flaws and frailties, fight for what they believe in, survive against all odds, and refuse to break. This new understanding clicks inside her like a missing puzzle piece, and she realizes that her emotional attachment to humans was not just an intellectual curiosity but something much deeper. Zorina looks out at the humans around her, now seeing them in a new light. She recognizes that what makes them unique isn't their physical bodies alone, but their strength of spirit, a strength that transcends the physical, one that cannot be measured or replicated by her technologically superior species. They are fighters, survivors, and in this moment, she understands why they have so fiercely protected their world and their freedom. For the first time, Zorina feels a deep respect for humans, not just for their biology but for their capacity to endure, adapt, and evolve emotionally. The realization is a turning point, and it begins to reshape the way she sees herself and her species' place in the universe. Zorina has always known that she was different, but now she fully understands the emotional depth that has been missing in her own life and society. It is in this moment that her allegiance to her own species falters. Underdog victory, the power of human defense. As the standoff escalates and the alien authorities draw closer, Zorina takes a deep breath, her resolve solidifying. She looks at Dr. Carter, who stands by her side, his eyes filled with hope and fear. In that brief moment, their bond becomes undeniable. Their shared understanding of each other's cultures, each other's struggles, is more than just a partnership, it's a profound emotional connection, one that could change the course of everything. Zorina realizes that the key to shifting the balance of power in this conflict is not in technology, but in a human defense mechanism she has learned through her studies, the human instinct to protect. It's something her species has never truly understood or valued, this primal urge to defend loved ones, to fight for something greater than oneself. But now, she knows it is what makes humans so formidable. It is the emotional core of their existence, their ability to fight not just for survival but for the people they care about, for their world. With this realization, Zorina taps into the human defense mechanism she studied, a surge of emotion and willpower that allows humans to overcome even the most insurmountable odds. Using her newly gained understanding of human biology and emotions, Zorina channels this energy into a protective shield that envelopes both her and Dr. Carter, deflecting the alien weapons aimed at them. The energy radiates from her in a brilliant, almost supernatural way, as if her newfound respect and love for the human spirit have given her the strength to defy her own species' authority. The alien soldiers, shocked by her sudden power, hesitate. Zorina, using her knowledge of human instincts, activates the shield at the perfect moment, creating an impenetrable force field that forces the alien authorities to retreat. They cannot understand what has happened or how Zorina, a member of their race, could now be acting in such defiance. The balance of power shifts dramatically in that moment, with the humans gaining a tactical advantage they never expected. Zorina's actions send ripples through the alien hierarchy. Her power, fueled by emotional strength and empathy for the humans, becomes a symbol of rebellion, not just against her species' authority, but against a worldview that has long underestimated humanity's strength of will. The humans, for their part, realize that Zorina is no longer an alien invader, but someone who shares their values, their emotions, and their desire to protect Earth. Emotional climax, a bond transcending species. The final moments of the standoff are filled with an emotional intensity that shakes both Zorina and Dr. Carter to the core. Zorina's actions have not only saved them from certain destruction, but they have also bridged the gap between their two species in a way that neither could have predicted. Zorina is no longer just an alien curious about human biology, she is now an ally, someone who understands the human condition on a deeply personal level. Dr. Carter, his emotions running high, looks at Zorina with a mixture of relief and admiration. In a world that has always been divided by species, he now sees the possibility of something greater, something unifying. He reaches out to Zorina, offering her not just gratitude but a gesture of trust. In that moment, a deep bond forms between them, one that transcends the boundaries of race, species, and even the most fundamental aspects of their existence. Zorina, for her part, looks at Dr. Carter with a new understanding. She sees in him not just a human scientist but a fellow being who shares her desire for connection, growth, and understanding. Their shared emotional experiences, their shared growth, bring them closer together. Zorina finally understands the value of emotions, of compassion, vulnerability, and the human drive to protect and love. As the conflict subsides, with the alien authorities retreating, Zorina's transformation is complete. No longer a mere observer of humanity, she is now an active participant in the fight for Earth's future. She stands alongside Dr. Carter and the humans, united by a common cause, and ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. In this emotional climax, Zorina and Dr. Carter form a bond that is not just about survival but about understanding and shared growth. It is a bond that transcends species, proving that even the most unlikely allies can come together through mutual respect and empathy. As the dust settles from the intense confrontation, the alien race begins to reassess their views on humanity. Before the events that unfolded, they saw humans as little more than primitive beings, their technology and biology nowhere near as advanced as their own. But now, they realize something crucial: humanity's biological and emotional diversity is not a weakness, but a strength. The very qualities that made humans seem vulnerable, their emotions, their resilience, and their capacity for empathy, are what set them apart in a universe full of technologically superior species. The alien leadership, still grappling with the magnitude of what has happened, starts to question their previous assumptions. The idea of emotionally driven behavior, once dismissed as a flaw, is now seen as a powerful asset. Zorina's transformation, from an observer to an advocate for humanity, has made a significant impact on their thinking. No longer can the alien race ignore the undeniable power of human connection, empathy, and the willingness to protect what they love. The turning point comes when the Alien Council agrees to send a delegation to Earth. They acknowledge that humanity's emotional depth, coupled with their strength and adaptability, makes them a valuable ally. Their commitment to survival, their ability to rise from hardship, and their unrelenting will to protect their world have proven to the aliens that humanity's place in the galaxy is far more important than they initially thought. Zorina, who had once been seen as a rebel, is now regarded as a symbol of change. She has become the bridge between two worlds, helping the alien race understand what makes humans truly exceptional. In a way, she is the one who opened the eyes of the alien leaders, showing them the potential for a future where humans and aliens could cooperate rather than clash. Final scene, a new era of cooperation. The final scene unfolds against the backdrop of Earth's skyline, bathed in the soft light of an alien ship that hovers in the sky. The human and alien leaders stand together, not as enemies, but as partners, each species bringing its unique strengths to the table. The once shaky relationship between Earth and the alien race has transformed into a partnership, one that holds the promise of a better, more unified future. In the center of the gathering stands Zorina, now an ambassador for Earth, her role as a liaison between the two species vital to the future of interspecies relations. She has come a long way from the curious alien who secretly observed humanity. Now, she is a voice of peace, advocating for the preservation of both human and alien values. Her transformation reflects the changing perception of humanity itself, no longer just a species to be studied, but one to be respected and valued as an equal. As Zorina addresses the gathered leaders, her words carry the weight of everything she's learned about both her own kind and the humans. She speaks of the importance of understanding, of how their differences are not something to fear, but to celebrate. She speaks of the strength that lies in their shared values, the desire to protect, to grow, to learn, and to thrive together. The audience watches in awe as Zorina eloquently describes a vision of the future, a future where humans and aliens can coexist, sharing knowledge, cultures, and experiences for the betterment of both species. Dr. Carter, standing beside her, watches with pride. He knows that this moment has taken years of struggle and growth, but it has all led to this, a new alliance between Earth and the alien race, founded on mutual respect and understanding. The promise of future cooperation fills the air as both species prepare to embark on a journey of exploration and learning together. Cinematic close, a glimpse of the future. The camera zooms in on Zorina as she steps forward, her gaze fixed on Earth below. The ship hovers above her, its lights casting a soft glow over the city. As she looks at the planet she has come to love, her expression is one of deep admiration. She understands now what makes humanity unique, and it fills her with a sense of awe. As Zorina looks toward Earth, the camera shifts, showing a view of the entire planet as it rotates slowly in space. The vibrant cities, the green landscapes, the oceans, everything is illuminated in the light of hope and possibility. Earth, once a simple, isolated planet in the far reaches of the galaxy, is now on the verge of something much greater, a new era of galactic relations. Humans, alongside their new alien allies, are ready to explore the stars and face the challenges of the unknown together. The music swells, and the final shot lingers on Zorina's face as she looks at Earth with newfound respect. Her journey has not just been about learning about the human species, it has been about discovering herself. Through her bond with Dr. Carter and the emotional growth she has experienced, Zorina has come to understand the importance of connection, empathy, and what it means to be truly human. As the camera pulls back to show the peaceful scene of the Earth and the alien ship, we are left with the sense that the future holds endless possibilities. The story ends with a powerful message, that through understanding, cooperation, and shared values, even the most unlikely alliances can change the world. Zorina's final vow is a promise to continue protecting humanity, to ensure that their place in the galaxy is not only secured but celebrated. She will continue to be the bridge between the two worlds, exploring what makes humanity truly unique and defending the qualities that make them so valuable in the eyes of the universe. The screen fades to black, and the story ends, leaving the audience with a feeling of hope and anticipation for the future. Conclusion: the dawn of a new beginning. With the formation of a new alliance, Zorina's journey has come full circle. What started as a quest for understanding humanity's biology has blossomed into a deeper exploration of their emotional complexity and resilience. Earth, now on the path to becoming a significant force in the galaxy, faces an exciting new era, where cooperation and collaboration with other species will shape the future. This is just the beginning of an incredible journey, one where both humans and aliens will learn from each other, grow together, and explore the stars side by side. The promise of unity, peace, and shared growth echoes through the final moments, a beacon of hope for a brighter future in the galaxy.